killed a few enemies, they might get up as crimson heads. You might not have the shotgun to kill them, and so on and so forth. So it is really good that way.
Okay, I can see that. You got any nitpicks?
Nitpicks. I'll be honest with you, I've always been a fan of the kind of stiff movement and things. I never had a problem with the controls, ever.
My biggest complaint was you couldn't run and shoot.
Yeah, but in this game, let's be honest, it's not needed.
Yeah, you could have used it there. Even the ability to back off slowly or something while you shoot would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I mean, you've got games like, take Resident Evil 5, which came out, what was it, 2008 or something like that. You know, I can't really remember. You've got games like that where you couldn't run and gun when you probably should have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking for bullet time dodging over the table like in Watch Dogs, but you know, it would have been nice just to be able to like step backwards as you fire.
Yeah,
you know?
But then you've got games like Dead Space, which run and gun was not a problem.
Yeah, true.
I think it would take away from the difficulty level if you could just sort of back off and shoot. Cause
not really, because what made this game really hard to some people was the fact that they couldn't move and the enemies were moving faster.
Yeah.
I mean, in the original game they couldn't have it move that fast because of the limitations of the PlayStation and Saturn and things like that. So you had limitations, but nowadays I would probably say this was. Oh shit! Sorry. He's got a bomb in me. Oh.
I've got an interesting question for you.
Yes.
As with Japanese games or Asian games, we'll say, are we missing any?
I'm missing what?
It's the European and American. Are we missing any? Do you know how there's normally like for every one game that comes out in Europe, there's normally 3 in Asia? Is there missing
Resident Evil titles?
Yeah.
Probably, but in fact, is there?
Yeah,
I think it's actually mobile games that are missing more than anything.
No, there was Resident Evil 1.5, which was a kind of
1.5 was actually just 2. It was just a beta version of 2.
Yeah.
Oh look, zombie, Crimson Head.
And it's called
you prick.
Biohazard over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Biohazard.
It was called Biohazard, but I think the main reason why is because Biohazard is kind of a plain name.
Yeah.
You know,
Great
here
band.
because yes, obviously, but you've got Resident Evil here, mainly because it takes place in a residential area and it's evil fucking things that want to eat you. So Resident Evil, it had a kind of
Resonates.
Yeah.
it resonates. It carries a bit of. How can I?
I remember this one. It's like there's a button in the back of the other one.
No, this puzzle was never actually in the original game.
But, yeah, I know, but yeah, I'm just saying. Remember playing this one? It was like you press the button in the back of it, and
It seems less of a puzzle and more of a death trap.
Yes. Unless you have this little doofer,
Which is
the imitation key.
Which is
What do you mean? Which is you need the imitation of the key so you can take the real key, and then it fucks off again.
Okay.
So you got the you didn't have the imitation key, which I guess you just found.
Well, you can put the key back, or you can sit and get fucking impaled.
Cool.
Like Vlad.
no, he was the impaler.
I know.
Surely if you have the imitation key, you can use that to open the door.
No, because it's an imitation key. All it is the same weight, nothing more.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually looked.
No. If it was the exact same fucking key, it'd be pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the charms about these games. They were, I mean, the puzzles didn't really make sense. I mean, if you couldn't get through a door, you'd shoot the fucking lock off.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know. Zombies! Oh!
Does gunfire attract zombies?
No, the game didn't do it. Then again, come to think, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think possibly.
La 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 la. Missed.
Oh
Prick.
shit, missed my lumber the night again.
So, who's the toughest enemy in this game?
The toughest enemy. Now, that's a good one.
Are you talking about big bosses or just kind of minor enemies?
Just in general, Chris' opinion. I remember I was saying in this game, not in the franchise.
In this game, my personal favourites have always been the hunters. I thought the hunters were, fuck.
Badass.
You didn't know. I mean, they fuckers could run about. They appeared through. Oh, sorry. They run about all the time. They're very deadly, and they take a lot. I mean, if you've got a pistol, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're not going to want to deal with them if you've only got a pistol.
He's still sorry.
No, batter him.
I was just saying, even with a shotgun, what they used to do was like you'd shoot them once and then they leap in the air at you, so you'd have to time your shots so you get them in mid-air.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'd deal you some serious damage.
Yeah.
Are the tyrants in this game?
Yeah, there's one tyrant, but again, if you've got acid rounds in your bazooka, he's a dodo.
Well, the thing is,
He's a sweetheart.
there's only one part where you can really shoot him. The next part, you've really just got to dodge him.
No, not in this game. You've actually got to shoot him before he kills your partner, otherwise it changes the ending.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
So how effective are weapons in this game?
Very effective, depending on what you use. I mean, if you use acid rounds on like zombies and things like that, it kills them a lot quicker. And like Yawn the snake, it kills them a lot quicker. Where if you use magnum rounds on and brute force weapons on hunters, that kills them a lot quicker.
So
You know,
it's choice.
There is a choice. I mean, using a pistol on a hunter's, there's no point. Unless, of course, he's caught behind a wall or glitched or something like that, you know.
So what the hell is that?
This is one of the new puzzles in the game.
It's
What?
a fountain of blood.
No, it's a fountain of formula.
Formula
Like,
One.
basically, weed killer, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And if you try to go up against it, you'll get whipped or killed. So you buy like the weed. You don't buy. You find the weed killer and put it in the water source.
See, this was the other thing I was going to add. Isn't the whole thing about this game is you heal yourself by puffing the herb?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not puffing
It's
the herb.
green herbs, man.
It's great. You get red herbs and blue herbs.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've had purple herbs before,
And
but we're
if
not
you
going to
could-
go there.
If you combine all three, you make the gold herbs.
Excellent headshot. Go me. That's another thing that you didn't get in Resident Evil.
Headshots.
You did in the director's cut.
You did in Director's Cut, yeah, if you got Director's Cut, but let's be honest, Director's Cut was only released as an apology for Resident Evil being late. Resident
Okay.
Evil 2 being late, sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Because it had the demo of Resident Evil 2. It
Yes.
came with it.
So the headshots are just basically random chance. critical
random
hits.
chance, yes. In this part of the game, you had, what was it?
Sounds like the name of an awesome henchman. Random chance.
Random task.
Oh, yeah, random chance. Honestly, who throws a shoe?
And I remember in Director's Cut, you got one special zombie. This was him, and my God, did he take a beating.
Why? What was special about him?
He just took bullets like a champ. Seriously, you had to empty like 2 clips in him, I think. Unless, of course, you had the Magnum, and you fired 1 round.
So it was pretty much, go ahead, make my day.
Go ahead, make my millennium.
Nice fucking model.
Yeah. I know we're getting on to Tim Burton's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is Resident Evil, not Tim Burton's Resident Evil.
There's another thing about this game.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, well,
Lights.
oh shit! There's
As you can see, you're running away like a bitch.
that was one thing about the Resident Evil franchise. That I think it was for loading purposes. They wouldn't actually show. They wouldn't actually show anybody walking through doors because it would. I believe it broke it broke the engine.
Yeah.
So they always, you would never get a zombie walking through a door or anything like that, or you would never see it walking through the door.
So it would all be freeloaded.
Yes, I mean it's pre-rendered background, you know, and yeah.
That's kind of shit. He busted open the door and you have to still go through the loading screen.
I mean, yeah, of course you have to go through the loading screen, but you know, oh, zombie. But of course they have to do that because they're pre-loading. I mean, you're running about in pre-rendered cinematics. That's where the loading screen came in.
So,
You know.
being a genuine fan of the Resident Evil franchise,
Yes.
is there any thoughts you would like to see on the direction they should re-go now that you're talking about next-gen gaming?
Next gen, I really think they should go back to. I mean, and I don't know if any's played Resident Evil 5's DLC, where you play Chris and Jill going through the mansion again.
No,
Mhm.
I've got it, but I've not played it yet.
And there's actually a little bug. Well, not a bug. A cheat where you get in the original Resident Evil. If you open the door Try to open the door 3 times in the main hall. Dogs would pop through. They're paying homage to that. If you'd done it 3 times, the game would go into fixed camera angles. So you played it like the old Resident Evils. I think they should go back to that.
That would cure. I don't know about that, but I know that what was the one in the DS quite recently that's been ported.
Revelations, which was good.
Wait, it was a fix. It wasn't a fixed camera angle. However, it had a lot of elements from the original Resident Evils in it. It seemed like a game I could kind of enjoy.
Yes, it did. But it's a bit like Resident Evil 5, it started to get a bit ridiculous near the end. You know.
You got giant monsters and stuff like this.
Yeah, Resident Evil 5, you ended up using a satellite rail cannon on something.
What, is there nothing huge in this?
And this one, no, it's just a tyrant. But the thing is, it chased you about. You weren't really sure when it was going to appear. That's what was so terrifying about the Nemesis in the third one.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the third one, you get the Nemesis, but then eventually the Nemesis turns into a bit of a hunky monster as well.
But then, yeah, you do, but it's you, a room, that's it. Yeah. There's no escape. So, no, I think they're just getting they're trying to get too big with the enemies now. It's I just feel that they're going a little bit too far now with it.
Do you not think that's a part of video games and movies as well in general, that the fact that we've seen this kind of all stuck in the room and stuff, and the fact is that we don't have to be stuck in the room anymore with the way the gaming power is going?
No, that's true. No.
Is it possible you're just being an old fogey?
An old fogey compared to you? No.
Nah, I'm an old git. You're an old fogey.
I'll be honest with you, I've always preferred that kind of claustrophobic, like, oh fuck, getting then backed up against the wall, there's nothing you can do type thing.
So is there any fans of that sort of gaming that you would actually recommend like other games to?
Of this type of gaming?
Yeah, you know, of the kind of the claustrophobic or
anybody,
this kind of Resident Evil-ish.
Anybody that likes old-fashioned survival horror with fixed camera angles. Anybody that liked the original Resident Evil should play this one.
No, but I mean anyone who enjoys this game, is there other games you would recommend to them?
Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. But then that's another retro game. Yep. But are you talking about new games?
Take it we're doing that shortly as well.
Yes, we may do Eternal Darkness if this goes well.
That's the only reason I would ever go retro and get a GameCube again to play Eternal Darkness. I mean, I know you can get Resident Evil 0 and 1 for the Wii. And
yes,
stuff
you
like
can.
Yeah.
But again, it's on the Wii.
I should point out that Sean's whispering, like, if you do, get Colosseum.
Colosseum.
If anyone doesn't know what Colosseum is, it was the Pokemon Battle Stadium game for the...
That nobody liked.
Yeah.
Actually, Colosseum came out 3 times. It came out... Pokemon Colosseum came out for the Nintendo 64, then Pokemon Colosseum 2, with the gold and silver edition, actually had gold and silver cartridges. It came out for the Nintendo 64, and then they brought out one where you played a Team Rocket character in number 3.
Yeah.
And we should point out as well, we checked the other day, the Pikachu edition of the N64 is currently worth about $600.
The Pikachu version of this N64?
Yeah.
Is worth £600?
Yeah.
What fucking idiot? Oh.
And that's used.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
That's like me paying money for a used condom.
I don't know about that.
With a lightning bolt on it. Wait, really? No. It's not even funny, Flynn. Stop laughing.
It's hilarious.
How is it funny?
It looks like something you would. It looks like the Nintendo version of a Kinder Prize toy. It's ridiculous.
Exactly, and it's not worth £600.
No.
Oh.
I disagree.
You would.
You would.
It's a collector's item, bit like Final Fantasy VII, the collector's edition. It was
And
it's
stab.
More than £600.
The difference is Resident Evil. Final Fantasy VII is a wonderful game.
Pokemon's a wonderful game that inspired many a game. And
No,
many
it was a good game. Granted, it was on a Game Boy.
No.
There's something so menacing about what you said. On a Game Boy.
I mean, see if they actually pulled the finger out and decided, yeah, we're gonna make a Pokemon game, a real Pokemon game, like where you start off as a random tosser, and you go out and collect Pokemon in a full 3D environment. Yes, I would play that, but on a console, absolutely, I would play it. But it's not worth. They're not worth it now.
Well,
You know.
they did bring out console versions of the game where you could plug your Game Boy.
What console
games.
version?
No. Hold on. You're talking about the games that you could import to play your Pokemon Stadium stuff. He's talking about a genuine 100% like next gen Pokemon game on a big console for a big screen.
On a projector.
Which
How-
actually sounds kind of fun.
How would they do that? It would have to be. You'd have. Pokemon's always had sort of bird's eye view.
No, well, make a 3D view.
Well, that's what they done with the GameCube.
No, they didn't.
Pokemon Colosseum, the GameCube was completely different. It was a 3D
Yeah, but
environment.
no. These games had 3D environment, but see on the consoles, it's always been like different sub games or
yeah.
things with this. He's talking about bringing the Pokemon style portable gaming like X and Y, which is now in 3D, by the way, a 3D environment, and actually bringing it to a big core gaming. I would actually quite like to see that myself. Especially if you could use
you
the
know what
whole
the
the new thing, Pokemon Bank, and actually
What-
bring over some of your guys. You know?
What does it say about this Let's Play that we're arguing over Pokemon and totally
Yeah.
disregarded the Resident Evil franchise? What has this
Well,
come to?
We're not disregarding that.
This is
We're-
all because you brought up a £600 condom.
Fucking
Fish,
hell.
£600 Fisher Price toy.
Used condom.
Do you
Filled.
know? All right, I tell you what. We'll get off this. Actually, here's another one for you. Do you believe it or not? There is actually like a Fisher Price protective cover for your iPads, so your kids can play, your toddlers can play with the iPad.
They should make it.
It's got all the usual little colory wheels and all this on it.
Oh dear Christ.
Completely waterproof
Oh well, no.
and
Okay.
screen protecting apparently.
And screen
Oh yeah,
protector.
you've got to go get the serum.
Yes,
The
I got the
serum?
serum. Yes, this gentleman has been bit
Is it-
with a demon. A demon, which is in fact called a big fuck off snake called Yawn. As in.
That sounds like a fucking Pokemon. I caught a yawn.
We call them Ekans.
Ekans is snake but spelt backwards.
Yeah, Arvok is.
Cobra.
Yeah, but there was the other. What was it? Seviper.
It's Viper, yes.
Where is the serum again?
It's in.
Captain American's underpants.
Whatever.
Americans.
Um,
Oh, it's the serum, super soldier.
how long do you have to actually go get it before he dies?
It's minutes that you've got.
Is that including pause menu?
No, if you have paused it for too long, you'll die.
Really?
You will
I
die.
love that.
He will die.
I hate it when you try to pause a game and things will still attack you, but the timer running out thing on, like, when there's like a 10 minutes before you've got to do something, that's quite cool.
Mm.
Another game that compromised that is Metal Gear 2. You had the timer for the MGS.
I believe he's right, yeah.
Even if you paused it, if you went in about the
Ha!
timer would still count
Knob
down.
end. Come forth. Come to the
Okay,
dinner
that
table,
you
sir.
actually plan out when you pause.
He's even wearing the jacket. Well done, sir. Come on.
Is there any game, just because he said that there, is there any game you would like to see crossovered? Like, would you like to see Solid Snake in Resident Evil?
No. Crossover game to Resident Evil. It would have to be probably another Capcom franchise. That's it.
Whirl. She's been eaten by a zombie.
Oh, so you want Ryu in it?
Well, that could put an interesting spin on things.
You've,
Chung,
ki-
Chung Li.
Well,
That would be awesome.
you've killed zombie Raiden. You've created a time paradox.
Nice.
right. Here's something I point out. I've killed that. I should have killed that bitch, but his body's still lying there.
Yeah.
Most
agreed.
people in the original games would have thought, "Oh, they're just keeping the bodies there. That's quite cool, quite unique."
How
No,
long
that fucker's going to rise within 10 to 15 minutes.
That was my next question. How long does it take? So if we sat there and watched, it would happen.
No, it depends on your progress in the game usually.
Right.
So if I've not progressed for a few puzzles or whatever,
So are you better backtracking and killing these fuckers before they wake up if you get the
See,
petrol?
see, I originally, when I played the game first, when I realised, oh shit, I need petrol and things like that, I thought to myself, I could do that, but it was all the canister only holds 2 samples of gasoline.
Right.
So, and you have to have the gasoline.
Whoa.
Puzzle.
Oh.
But in this puzzle, if you get it wrong, you get gassed.
Right. So you're saying about
Back to Nazi homage with Ryan Lattle. ladies and gentlemen.
What? Sorry, I completely wasn't paying attention.
We noticed.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
The mic and open it.
I take it you're not too concerned about that guy's life then.
What guys?
Okay.
The guy
Oh
you
yeah, you're
left.
meant to be saving someone, aren't you?
Oh, you meant to be going and get the serum.
No, I've already done it.
Have you?
Yes.
That was quick.
Yes,
But
I
how-
know.
It's not until he's dying that you actually go and make the serum.
No. I've played this game before, son.
Is
I've
this
played
is
the
this
fucking game as well. And
is
I
this
know.
guy Blade?
Eh?
Is this guy Blade?
No.
I need some serum.
No, you get the serum, you administer the serum, and then you wait there till you can open the door to yawn, and then
Uh-huh.
he'll. But one of the things, if you don't save Richard in the game, I'm not.
He
Like,
won't save you for the snake.
it won't save you for the snake.
Ryan, do you mind not trying to commentate with your mouth full? Sorry, I should point out we just handed out mini double chocolate chip muffins, so everyone's like, "Ooh,
Gobble,
We
gobble,
just
gobble,
handed
gobble,
out-
gobble.
We.
yeah, we get over it."
This is another thing they put. This is another thing they put in the game.
It's a puzzle box.
Yeah,
Oh, I hate this fucking puzzle box.
you would always go to the inventory screen to play about with things. Like you got a how I don't know what to find or whatever, and then you'd realise you've already got it. It's either in a wee puzzle box, or you have to unscrew it, or you have to check it.
There's one. Sorry, I was talking about crossovers earlier. What about Hellraiser?
Yeah, I was saying that.
Hellra- See, the thing is, Resident Evil was originally
With
meant to be supernatural.
Albert Wesker finds the box.
There's an idea.
Albert Wesker finds